I think the demonstrators, I don't know whether I should combine it with the fight against galamsey and so on and so forth. That first of all, I commend them for stepping forward, because we've gotten to a state where the people that must act are refusing to act. And I consider the inaction of the president, the National Security Council, the Police Council, the Armed Forces Council, and the role of the Vice President and everybody in this galamsey fight to be another case of abuse of authority or public authority, just that in this case it's an inaction. I thank you for this opportunity, because I've always wanted to comment on the conduct and comments by the chairman of the Minerals Commission the several times he's appeared on this show. He seems to be interested in defending miners who have some sort of licenses. So there's that aspect of his work which says that we should not ban mining because some people have legitimately gotten to the end of that process. But he forgets that he's also the custodian of the places that we can mine, that he has not authorized licenses for that activity to take place. So between him and the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, they seem to have forgotten that aspect of their work. And they've allowed these illegal miners to have a field day. So we've gotten to a point where it is the citizens who must step forward and demonstrate and get the attention of authorities to act. And then they go on demonstration, trying to draw attention. Of course, some people have complained that they went beyond the borderlines and so on. And then the police have to intervene and arrest them. And then the police defense is that they have to maintain law and order. And I find that amusing, because what is the most lawless and disorder activity we have on our hands now is that galamsey activities that these very people are engaged in that we were trying to protest. So the police that is so concerned about law and order have allowed illegal mining to go on. And yet when citizens exercise their right to demonstrate, all of a sudden they find their role as law enforcement agency and go and arrest people. And even in the process of arresting, they treat it as a form of punishment, which I think is unacceptable. And we do this to ourselves all the time. When MPP is in power, they justify it, and I'm waiting to see the comments that Gary will be making here, because I saw his comment when even people who had gone to the court to attack judges, he was trying to have leniency on them. And demonstrators today drawing attention to something that is inimical to Ghana are being handled by the police. So I'm unable to go to the side of the police when they say they are for law enforcement. I cannot believe that.
The police secured an ex parte injunction. I suppose you guys know what I think about that. I think that should never be allowed. I support Justice Sir Dennis when he says that you should never allow the police to get an ex parte injunction, an injunction on the blind side of demonstrators to stop them from demonstrating. And they always got that from the lower court. And he said you cannot also go to the lower court, you should go to the high court for those. I was extremely happy and felt the judiciary will continue to uphold that. Unfortunately, these days, these things are happening. But the point is this, the Democracy Hub, I think from the police's narration, they wrote to them sometime in July about this event in September, and then eventually they disagreed on the venue, the Revolutionary Square, opposite the Jubilee House. The police have confirmed that the Jubilee House is a security zone and they will not allow any demonstration close to that place. So they secured this injunction a day or two to the protest that they won't have it at the Revolutionary Square, but they are ready to provide protection for the demonstration at 7 other locations, and the demonstrators disagree with them. So once they disagreed and they were still trying to get closer to that place, the police had to effect the arrest. I've heard the lawyers say very clearly that the police didn't have that power because if you give a venue and they disagree, the law requires you to go to court to stop them from that particular venue. If you don't do that, you don't have a right to deal with them. From what you see, don't you think that to an extent, the police endeavored to be facilitating rather than suppressing and preventing them?
No, it's rather the opposite. I see an attempt to frustrate citizens' activity, lawful activity. So, like you said, it's the same issue I battle myself with, and I don't seem to understand why. Complete abuse of public authority, whether it's the police, the electoral commission, the court, as you said, judicial officers, and even why should the judges even be issuing ex parte, granting ex parte applications when they are not supposed to, as you say. So it is not that the police were facilitating. It's all, I don't know, this obsession with the police that somehow they must protect the government in place. We are also important, the public, the power resides in us and it comes from us. So my engagement in this political process is to emphasize the importance of the people in the equation as we do things in this republic. So the police must not be doing all this high-handedness. And the reason why they did what they did is to instill fear in citizens who may join these demonstrations at some point as the activities and awareness become exposed to so many people. So when they do these things, now it puts fear in other people. I am even more excited and encouraged to participate because that is what we need to do. Where we are now, I think the judges at the High Court, when these matters go there, must quickly, as Professor Kofi Asamoah-Siaw has said, dismiss these cases that the police tend to secure remand as a means of punishment. In any case, what is the police going to investigate? Everything is on camera. What the people did that day is already known to the police. So what are they investigating? It's also another clear example of abuse of police authority, that they want to take people, go to court and say all kinds of things, knowing that the court will listen to them. In this kind of unholy marriage between the police and the judiciary, and the executive and the judiciary, that they know...
As we understand, it is the Attorney General that is prosecuting, not the police.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. The information the Attorney General will use is based on information that the police will give it. And that's what I'm saying. What is the Attorney General looking for, again, that is necessary for that remand to be requested? What is the basis for remand for 2 weeks? What are they investigating? There's nothing to investigate.
Okay.
So it is just an abuse of people's rights and an attempt to instill fear in the citizens. And at this stage, maybe I may not get another chance to comment on the way forward with the fight against galamsey. The president is completely compromised, and I'm looking forward to the nationwide strike by organized labor, and the media should not leave this galamsey fight, take it off air. We must sustain it until the president acts. And on the 30th of September, the TUC strike, the doctors, the UTAG, we must take the fight ourselves and make sure that we defeat this menace of galamsey that is perpetrated by the very people we have.
Thank you very much for your time. Let me go to Bernard.